Indigenous knowledge systems are a vital component of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, is committed to the integration of local indigenous scientific knowledge. National Tsinghua University has long devoted efforts to developing indigenous science education. The indigenous communities in Taiwan have the best bamboo in the world. The development of bamboo for building is an area worth further efforts. In 2019, Tsinghua University established Taiwan's first Center for Indigenous Science Development. In 2023, the center received funding from the Ministry of Education and Taiwan's Council of Indigenous Peoples to construct a bamboo house, integrating traditional indigenous architectural wisdom with modern architectural techniques for the center's classrooms, exhibits, meeting rooms, and office. The bamboo house includes first floor and basement level classrooms. The first floor includes a 50-person capacity audiovisual classroom. The basement level offers cultural exhibits, teaching spaces, and hands-on learning spaces, and augmented reality and virtual reality learning spaces. In addition, there is a single-floor office building and a single-floor conference room. In order to comply with architectural and fire prevention statutes, the first-floor classrooms and basement level have a reinforced concrete structure for the inside layer, while the inner and outer walls of the first floor are built from bamboo. This is the first bamboo structure in Taiwan to receive building and use permits as an office and classrooms.
Biasa ni pelayan gakon ko kasisi kani simok su kani menebo.
It's a real honor to be able to work on this project, to build the NTHU Center for Indigenous Science Development. When I was an undergraduate student, for my graduation design project, I selected a topic about indigenous cultural parks. Back then, I couldn't find an advisor to help my project. They all said they didn't know anything about it. Back when I was a student, indigenous culture was not seen as something worth studying. My interest in indigenous culture started back then as a student. So, taking on this project, I was able to fulfill the dream I had for my graduation design. However, using bamboo to build a structure, being authorized for use on a university campus, this may represent the first instance. There is a risk with using bamboo as a structural material because bamboo preservation is highly challenging. Bamboo is not durable enough. If it were used in the building structure, there would be safety concerns for the whole building. Therefore, all of the architectural structure is made from steel with layers of bamboo on the inside and outside. As a part of this project, I worked on the outdoor watchtower and the granary, as well as the indoor setting. I also worked on the metal connections for the bamboo throughout the whole site. From the very beginning, the architect contacted me to discuss the project. The architect designed the whole structure in the beginning. They designed the whole steel structure. Then, when it came to the bamboo part, the architect told me he wanted to do a modular design. But I told him that it would be difficult to do. It would take a lot of time and effort, and the result wouldn't be stable. I suggested that we add the bamboo to a metal structure, so that's how I came up with the U-shaped groove structure. The bamboo can be directly placed within the groove, and then laid in one by one. I told them this would save a lot of time and labor. For me, in this project, the greatest challenge is working with natural building materials. That's actually what we spent most of our time on, trying to solve the challenges of using bamboo. We know that bamboo can last indoors for 15 to 20 years with no issues. But when it is used outdoors, it may only last 3 to 5 years. We can't prevent the bamboo from rotting, because that's an inevitability of nature. Therefore, we created a design allowing it to be easily removed and replaced every 3 to 5 years as it degrades. We can remove the degraded bamboo easily and replace it with new bamboo. In this way, we were able to solve the problem of bamboo's durability. A benefit of using bamboo is that it's beautiful no matter what you do with it. Another characteristic of bamboo is that because it is round and hollow, it also serves as an excellent thermal barrier. When we talk about lowering and sequestering carbon, bamboo is an ideal material. 11% of Taiwan's forests are bamboo forests, so we really need to make the most of these benefits. We have so many bamboo forests, but they aren't being utilized. If you don't manage bamboo forests, the bamboo quality degrades. If you cut down some bamboo, the forest grows better. We hope that these buildings can inspire more people to be willing to utilize bamboo. Actually, in this entire complete building design, my favorite feature is the double-layered wall. I didn't expect the architect to design it that way. At first I thought we would cut the bamboo in half, the way we do it traditionally, in order to prevent water from coming in. But they wanted to try something new, so they made the walls thicker, I think about 20 to 30 centimeters thick. He told me he didn't want to cut the bamboo in half because it said that cutting the bamboo in half would make it rot more quickly. From my experience, seeing traditional old buildings in the mountains, the walls didn't have any issues with leaking. As long as you harvested the bamboo during the right season, the walls would be durable, enough to last 10 to 20 years without problem. I like the technique he used here, using a double-layered wall with air ventilation in between. It works great in all seasons. What I love the most is that the whole building is made of bamboo. Natural building materials are just simply beautiful. Actually, in traditional construction, you'll notice the use of iron wires. In fact, we've been continuously evolving as well to make sturdier structures. I was talking to my dad after we finished this project, and I said we can also use steel for a building structure to make it safer. Then for the walls and the rest, we can use bamboo. Bamboo is an important part of Atayal culture. Our Atayal community is pretty special. We've always had many architects and builders. My family line has traditionally specialized as builders. So, when I first joined this project, they thought it was pretty interesting, but they were against what we were doing. Later, we had more conversations about it. I said, "You live in a concrete house now, don't you? Why don't you live in a bamboo house?" They said, "The environment is different now." Exactly. It's a different environment, so we have to innovate. But aren't you happy to be able to still see this kind of architecture? They said, "Yeah, we're happy to see the bamboo. Since the exterior is made of bamboo, they see it as a bamboo house, and they don't dwell on what the structure is built from." That has been my experience. Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Today, on behalf of our Atayal people, through the chanting of ancient tunes, I would like to thank the university for offering this valuable land to establish the Center for Indigenous Science Development. Welcome all of our honored guests to listen with your hearts. The Center for Indigenous Science Development at National Tsinghua University has developed over 17 experiential modules for exploratory and hands-on learning, including augmented reality, virtual reality, and DIY hands-on learning. The indoors and outdoors of the Bamboo House serve as a site for learning indigenous cultures and science. In every corner in and around the Bamboo House, indigenous culture and science learning materials can be found. For example, from locally found materials, visitors can make Atayal xylophones, spinning propeller toys, muntjac flutes, and bamboo shooting toys. Visitors can experience the culture and scientific principles in the Gogo Jiwas animated series, including watchtowers, 3-stone stoves, slate benches, and greeneries. Indigenous plants like black nightshade and bird's nest fern can be found on the lawn. The basement of the Bamboo House is a learning exhibition space offering augmented reality installations for experiential learning. By using the classroom's tablets or downloading the app on a phone, Visitors can see characters from Gogo Jiwas appear before them, like the main character Jiwas, her naughty monkey friend Nai Nai, and food-loving Bei Hui. These characters teach visitors cultural and scientific knowledge about space stations and bamboo and slate houses. Director Fu Li Yu, producer of the award-winning Gogo Jiwas animated series, who has been working in indigenous science education for nearly 30 years, hopes that the learning spaces offered in the Bamboo House can be enjoyed by teachers and students of all levels from Taiwan and abroad to share in the research and development achievements of the NTHU Center. In addition, the Flying Squirrel Village Indigenous Learning Education website has created a platform for scheduling visits to the Bamboo House, allowing people to schedule activities and hands-on learning experiences. The center hopes to promote their goal of Indigenous education for all, bringing Taiwan's Indigenous science knowledge to the world. This is the goal that propels Tsinghua University's efforts in continuing to value and promote Indigenous education.